Hey crafty friends, it's Mel. Just had to share my little excitement. So those of you who know, a lot of you are big fans of Tim Holtz. I like him. I like Distress Ink, but there's certain things that I don't particularly care for, just due to just my preference. Like I tend to like more funny, fun, whimsical type things. However, there's certain tools of his that I love. The Distress Inks I love, like I said. The scissors, the non-stick scissors. I love certain things like that. So those are my buddies. Now, I've been waiting for this to go on, and I kind of I'm putting this video up just in case any of you are able to find it if you're, in the market. So there's a Vagabond 2 that came out recently, those of you who are unaware, and those of you who are. Basically, I believe it's the same thing. I think just that the Vagabond 2 is made with metal, mostly metal parts, because I think some people were having trouble and they weren't happy with the fact that I believe if you put the wrong sandwich in this electric die cutting machine. So basically, if you're completely new, this is an electric die cutting machine. So I currently have, and I think I'm going to put it up for a local D-stash. I'd love to, put it out anywhere, but I think the shipping is going to kill us. So where you're not getting that much of a deal. But this is the original one I had, and I love this one. So I'm debating on keeping it. It is the Sizzix. It's the teal one with the rolly handle. But of course this is manual. So anyway, I might be putting this on my a local D-stash local to me. I'm in New Jersey. If anybody's in New Jersey and happens to be interested, message me. But I think other than that, it's going to get too pricey to try to mail out. So now back to this. So there's a Vagabond 2. This is the Vagabond 1. I have absolutely no issue with this. I tried it out. I have 90 days if I would like to return it, but I think I'm going to keep it. So I used a Christmas gift card that I had. I had a Visa gift card, and I just want to tell you that I got this for $75. So originally it was $249.99. So it could be because the new one's coming out. They're trying to clearance it out, but I just want to get this video out there. It'll probably be closer to, let's see, I think it comes to $89.99 is probably what you'll find it for. This was just with my discount. But check your Hobby Lobbies and see if maybe you have one on hand. I mean, on your clearance. Again, it's the Vagabond 1, but I have no issue with it being the first one. So I think, just to reiterate, what people were having issues with is that they weren't happy with the fact that if you send the wrong sandwich in, aka if you put something too thick or try to press something through that doesn't want to go through, it will break your machine. Some people have gotten things stuck in there. I've never met anybody who has. I know people have had trouble, but I like to think of myself, I'm kind of like an experienced die cutter, so maybe if this is your first die cutting machine, it may not be for you. Plus, I feel like if you're starting die cutting, you may want a manual die cutting machine, because I feel like everybody has to start there, because you really wouldn't appreciate this until you started there. I happen to love my dies. I love me some dies. I love my Cricut machines too and my Cameo, but I love sometimes you don't want to whip out those machines and bring out the computers that are necessary for it. And you just want to do some old school, quick instant gratification die cutting. So that's what I love my dies for. And I like to collect them because they're like an investment, and they're something that I happen to use over and over and over again. So it makes it worth it for me. So I've had, I started with I have had a couple different Cuddle Bugs, the different ones, and I love them. And then I really loved, and I stayed away from the Big Shot for a while because I didn't like the fact that it didn't fold up and it took up a lot of room. But you know what? In its benefit, with it being open like that one I just showed you, I loved that it was just ready to go whenever I wanted to use it, versus I know all you have to do with the Cuddle Bug is pull those two tabs down and make sure it's suction cupped somewhere. But I just liked having it set out on a table. I found myself using that. So for this cheap, I decided to upgrade, and I wanted to try it and its ease of use. And you guys, I love it. I love the fact that you can And if anybody's interested, I can do a demo on it in the future. But I love the fact that you can press the button and it can go forward and go backwards, so I don't have to get up and reach it from the back. And I know that sounds horrible, but when you're in the groove and you're crafting, to go around my craft desk and go to the other end to get the thing, I don't want to do that. So I love the fact that I can just put it through and then reverse it back, and then not only that, it'll give a better impression too, going through twice. So I was really excited. And then one other thing I want to point out is, so check, it was originally $249.99, and then it got clearanced down to, I believe it was it $189? It says it on the back here. No, $149.99, and then it got marked down another 40% off. So that's what they'll be at now. So even at $89.99, I think that's what it came down to, with an additional 40% off. That's a great deal for an electric die cut machine. So the only other thing, I don't care for its look. I mean, it's very rugged, and that works for somebody. It came with these little stickers to make it look like a suitcase, so that's cool. But it's a little bit grungy, which is, you know, the whole Tim Holtz way of life, I guess. But that's something that I don't particularly care for, but it's okay. It's just like a little brown suitcase. It came with this, and I didn't open it yet because I wasn't sure whether I was going to keep the machine. And I want to point out, just in case if anybody was interested and if you're trying to find it, say if you're a person like me who's going from a big shot to Vagabond. The only thing, I was watching YouTube videos and they said you had to buy an additional piece if you want to do the wafer thin dies, and that's basically all I have. I don't have many of the thick. I do have some, but I don't have many of the thick ones. So you can have that, Whoopi.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So that's all I want to do. I said, oh man, now I gotta buy. Now it's going to take away from my nice deal that I got. However, I got crafty, and it does not. You know why? Because if you happen to have this the Sizzix die cut machine that I just showed you before this, my previous one, I already had the 2 plates. As you see, they're well loved, so that just shows you how much I love my dies. And just a little tip, in case those of you don't know, look how bad this is. One of my card bases got stuck to it, and I haven't yet cleaned it off. But one good tip is, if you're using these, just make sure you rotate them so that you'll get more life out of them and go both ways. And some people, I've done this before too, where they'll only use the cutting edge on one mat, saving the other one. Because sometimes if you're just embossing or running something through, your tag or whatever you're cutting might get these impressions on there. So just to extend the life, and then you can use the other one. But I happen to have this, which is the Sizzix, what is this called? Magnetic platform.
Mommy,
yes?
you'll help me.
I can help you. Hold on, I gotta help Mott tell you with her little lollipop. There you go, lovey. There you go. You're welcome. Okay, so here, you can't leave that there, hon. So here is the plate that we had. I'm going to move. Look, she's got my phone propped on there to watch her Mickey Mouse. So this is the magnetic plate that I have here, and I'm very not happy with this, Sizzix. I like a lot of your products, but you can almost see what this is magnetic, and I like the idea of that. So that way, if you put a die on there, let me just give you a little example. If you use one of your dies on here, here's one of my dies, and as you see it sucked onto it. Sometimes, and if you die cut before, you know, like sometimes when you put this on, it'll slide as you roll it through. So the magnet helps keep exactly where you want it if you have something stamped and you want it to cut just around it. The only issue I have with this is, instead of it being an even magnet, it's magnets every so often. So I'm going to point to it. They're only here. So there's nothing here, nothing here. So the only problem is, sometimes when you put your die down, it pulls it towards the other one. I still think this is more helpful than not having magnets at all. I will say that. But another thing I don't like is running it through. One of my magnets came out, and because of their delicate nature, those of you who have Misties know they can, you know, they're pretty powerful magnets, and when they I see you, and then when they go together, they kind of break up. Well, that's what happened here. So I feel like, as expensive as this was, they shouldn't have cheaped out and just did the magnets some places. And I don't know if there's a scientific reason for that, like maybe if you had the whole edge to edge magnet, they'd cling together, or there's no way of doing it. I don't know, but this to me seems cheapy, and I'm not happy with that, and the way that broke through and the way it pulls. I think it should be a little bit more, you know, uniform, but that's just me. Anyway, back to what I was showing you. If you use this and this sandwich in your, I just took it right, stop pushing this, honey. I just took it right from my other die cut machine and took this magnetic platform and then your 2 plates, and that cut beautifully my dies. So I didn't have to buy anything additional. In fact, I didn't even use the plates that come with this because I didn't want to have to worry about the sandwich or the wrong thing going through. So that does work if anybody's wondering, and you don't have to buy anything additional if you happen to have this sandwich. I also use something else. I have to figure out what the embossing folder one is because I want to make sure I do it right, and it looks like it's showing it here before I run it through because I don't want any problems. Because I have heard that, I don't know if it voids the warranty or they don't do anything about it. That I don't like so much because these are expensive machines, especially if you pay full price for them, which I probably never would. But still, you know, you don't like to feel like if you do make a mistake, you're shit out of luck, excuse my language. But, yeah, so anyway, I've never had a problem with that, and I'd like to think of myself, like I said, a kind of experienced die cutter, so I kind of know what to put in there and what not to put in there. But if you're new, I would suggest starting off with like a manual. But I just wanted to kind of share my deal and spread the word out there, just in case you're out in your Hobby Lobby, and check if yours is on clearance. You might be able to get a really good deal if you're okay with it not being the newest one out. The newest one out is the Vagabond 2, but I think it's not very different. There's not much different going on, I believe, besides the the gears and things, I think, are metal versus plastic, so maybe they can take more. And I don't know if maybe the new one has, like, when I had the e-bosser before, but I decided against that one. It was just too big with the plates, were like 8.5 by 11 or 12, something like that. It had a feature whether if you put the wrong sandwich in, it would stop. It wouldn't keep trying to go, it wouldn't keep running it through in order to protect your machine. Now, although that was annoying, sometimes when you're trying to do something and it stops, it's still, you know, at the end of the day, saving your investment, where this one does not do that. So I don't know if maybe the 2 does that. I'll have to watch, but quite frankly, it doesn't really matter to me because I got this one at such a cheap price and with my Christmas gift card, and I tried it out and I think I am going to keep it. So that was a great deal, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. And like I said, it'll probably be closer to $89.99 if they marked their clearance down again. So thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if you guys know the sandwich to put the embossing folder through, because I want to try because this fits. This is an embossing folder, but it is, what is this one? 6x6. One of these ones that I got from, here's the packaging. One of the embossing folders that I got from Tuesday Morning that were, does it say what size this is? 6x6 embossing chevron. So I want to try that, but again, I want to make sure, that was just one of my myths for my stamping. I just want to make sure that the sandwich goes through properly so that I can keep my machine for a long, long time. So I'm really excited about this. So if anybody else is interested, check that out. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.